Thanks for joining us today, everyone, and welcome to learning about growing your business on Upwork. This webinar will specifically help those of you who are new to working online. You'll find out how to use the Upwork platform and how to find the right freelance professionals for your projects. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. As we talk to new clients, and that's how we describe all of you, we call you client. Clients are people like yourselves who are bringing their projects, work, initiatives, and innovations online. Let's talk about 3 advantages of working online. Every business, whether it's a one-person startup, medium-sized business, or enterprise company, is looking to graduate, evolve, and grow. A few examples I like to give are maybe you're a new startup and you're not quite ready for a full-fledged web development team in-house, but you need additional support. Or maybe you're a mature business that is now ready to take that next step in hiring a few writers to do your content development, but you can't find anyone in your local area. Many different needs come up as your business evolves. But by working online, you're able to fill those gaps as those needs develop. Hiring online also lets you scale quickly with competitive costs. We're talking about a few different standpoints here. One, with a platform like Upwork, you're able to have access to global talent. Because the rates you're working with are on a global scale, they tend to be more competitive. You're not limited to just hiring based on your local area and the people around you. You're able to extend your search to freelancers in Eastern Europe, South America, and more. 2 is by finding and engaging freelance talent on your own, you're avoiding the 30 to 40% markup a recruiter or staffing agency would normally charge. Instead, you're able to post your projects yourself, find the right talent that works for you, and begin working with them directly. Upwork also lets you iterate immediately without losing momentum. We're talking about a few things here. First, the time it takes finding the right talent is cut in half, if not more. This is because of the tools Upwork provides and the number of freelancers we have on the platform. Whereas before, if you were ready to kickstart your project, it could take weeks, maybe even months to find the right person to hire and bring in-house. Now, you're able to whittle those weeks down into days. Second, another reason we talk about efficiency and speed is with the work getting completed itself. Imagine, again, by working with a global talent pool, you're able to get work done during your non-working hours. Because of the global talent pool, freelancers might be working different hours than you, in which case they could be working while you're sleeping. As we introduce clients to Upwork, we tend to hear 3 main questions. First, how do I find the right freelancer? How do I find the right professional who's the best fit for my project? We're going to show you how you can do that using Upwork's tools. Next, how do I pay for my project, and is it safe? We'll show you how you can be confident that you're getting what you want because of Upwork's payment protections. Finally, I found the right freelancer and we're working together, but how can I be sure I'm getting the best possible outcome? Well, with Upwork's collaboration tools, it's made easy. We're going to drive the webinar based on these questions. Here's an overview of the agenda. Part 1, finding the right talent. Part 2, how payments work. Part 3, project collaboration. And Part 4, key takeaways and resources. Let's go ahead and jump right into finding the right talent. A good working relationship starts with a good work description. The reason being, top freelancers on Upwork look for the best work descriptions. We've heard from freelancers that they look for work descriptions that are clear, comprehensive, and tell them what the client is looking for in no uncertain terms. We advise you to take some time as you're preparing your work description so you can make sure you're outlining as much detail as possible. Start with identifying your main points. Ask yourself, what is it that you're trying to solve? What problems am I having? Can I name my challenges? Then ask yourself, what's my end goal with this project? If you have any hard deadlines, make sure you specify those and outline them in detail. Highlight some must-have skills. If there are any skills that you're looking for, whether it's a native Russian speaker for a translation project or someone with an advanced degree in terms of financial planning, you want to add those skills to your work description. Include a question or two or add a screening question at the end of the form. Questions enable you to make sure that the freelancers who are submitting a proposal to your project are taking the time to read through your work description. You want to indicate the experience level you desire. This helps set the budget. After you post your project, your work description will go live. Freelancers are going to come to you in 3 different ways. One is Upwork automatically highlights some potential freelancers for your project. We'll show you a list of freelancers and say, here's some folks who are in the marketplace who could potentially be a good fit for you. You can consider them or not. We're surfacing them based on the skills that you outline in your work description. You can also go search for potential freelancers and act like your own talent scout. You go to the magnifying glass and click Find Freelancers. You can do a search on your own and filter down to find the right match for your project. After you find someone you think is a good fit, invite them. The final way is freelancers are going to find your work description in their search results. Then they're going to submit a proposal to your project. These are 3 different ways you can come across freelancers who could be a potential match. Here are some tips on vetting out freelancers on Upwork. The selection criteria is up to you, and each project might be a little different. But here's some general tips that we've seen work for other clients as they look at potential freelancers. Start by looking at their profile. Think of a profile as a freelancer's resume. It gives you a description of who they are, the type of work that they do, and what they're all about. You could look at things like their professional profile photo. Is this freelancer showing their professional self? Next, look at their title. The best freelancers are often going to have a descriptive and concise title that tells you who they are and what types of project they're best suited for. The overview section is where the freelancer can describe and add more context around what they do. This is how they describe the work they're best at. We encourage freelancers to have a targeted skill set. That's another great thing about working through a platform like Upwork. You're able to quickly hone in on someone who has the exact skill set that you're looking for. To get a better feel for a freelancer's experience, look at the education, portfolio, and work history sections of their profile. Education will obviously tell you what kind of formal training a freelancer has. A freelancer's portfolio will show you examples of their past work so you can get a feel for their style and skill. Their work history section will give you a clear picture of the work they've done on the Upwork platform. Here's an example of a proposal. A proposal is a written plan or suggestion put forward for your consideration by the freelancer on how they will complete your project. Look for someone again who is putting their best professional foot forward. Are they approaching you as a serious paying client? Here are some best practices that have worked for other clients who hire through the platform. One is a professional greeting. Look for someone with unique qualifications. What is it about this freelancer that makes them stand out? Is it their years of experience? Is it the training that they've had? Is it the certifications that make them stand out? Freelancers oftentimes provide some samples within their proposal. You want someone who has some relevant experience and some work with this type of project. The key point for many of you is seeing that this freelancer has understood your job posting and your work description and is addressing your needs in their proposal. You want a candidate who has taken the time to read it, to understand it, and to target your project in their proposal. Freelancers are often going to request an interview, and we do encourage you to have one with potential freelancers that you're interested in. Interviewing is a great best practice for many past successful clients. We suggest that you get in front of these potential freelancers. Make sure that you can understand them effectively, and make sure you can build a rapport. Understand their approach to your project, and make sure you feel comfortable working with this freelancer on your project. Another way to take the next step and give you confidence in the freelancers that you're engaging with is through a paid test project. Now, this is by no means a requirement, but it is an option that's available for you. The way this process works is you're taking your project and breaking it into small chunks. Think about it as a dry run. Learn what your potential candidate's skills are by giving them test jobs. For hourly jobs, have your freelancers work a few hours and see what they can do. Then grant the top performer more hours and start the project. For fixed price jobs, break the job into smaller pieces and have freelancers complete a portion. Test jobs allow you to get a better look at not only the skills of the freelancers, but insight into what your working relationship with them would be like. Okay, let's talk about how payments work. On Upwork, you'll find 2 types of payments: fixed price or hourly. Fixed price projects are best for project-based contracts where there is a clearly defined deliverable that can be handed over at the end on a completed contract. Fixed price projects are worked on by project milestones, meaning you're going to engage with your freelancer to establish key dates when sections of the project will be handed over. These dates are when you're going to review the work delivered by the freelancer and payments will be made. Freelancers should only submit work through the Upwork platform. This way you can use the escrow process. This process allows you to fund each milestone, giving visibility to your freelancer that funds are in place, and then they can start work. They will work and deliver the milestone via the message center. Then you'll release the pre-funded payment. After each milestone is completed, you'll fund the next milestone. We've heard from past successful clients to wait until each milestone is delivered before any payments are made. It's a great way to make sure you're getting work as you expected. Hourly projects are just as the name describes it. Work done on an hourly basis, meaning you engage a freelancer for a certain number of hours each week. Before work begins, you and your freelancer should negotiate the number of authorized hours and their hourly rate of pay. Your freelancer will download the Upwork team app to track the time they spend on your project. This allows you insight into the progress of your project. Hourly projects are more befitting for projects that require more flexibility. I'll give you an example. Say you need to engage someone to be a writer for a product rollout. Some days the freelancer might be writing email copy. On other days, they're going to be writing blog posts. And on other days, they'll be updating help content. You don't know each day which set of tasks they'll be covering because it could vary. But you know that you need someone who's available to cover all 20 hours a week. Let's take a deep dive into fixed price contracts. I already touched briefly in terms of milestones. These are key dates where you're expecting to receive parts of your project and pay for the work the freelancer delivers. A key point in regards to milestones is that a freelancer is never starting work until you, as the client, have funded an escrow milestone. The escrow milestone funds are held by a third-party vendor specific to your project, and your money only gets released when you give approval on the work the freelancer performed. Example: if you have not received any work, or if you've received the work and it's not exactly what you wanted, don't release the funds. Then share feedback with your freelancer. Let's say you engaged a freelancer to create a logo for $400, and both you and the freelancer agree to 4 milestones. Milestone 1 is for a first draft of the logo in black and white. Milestone 2 is for a second version in color. Milestone 3, after some edits that you agreed to, is going to be for 2 different sizes of the logo, and then Milestone 4 will be for the final image files. In order to start this project, you'll need to deposit some money into escrow for the first milestone. That means you'll fund $100 from your verified payment method into your project. Then, as the freelancer delivers work, you'll review and either reject or approve what the freelancer delivers. It's that simple to have control over the work the freelancer delivers. Now, hourly contracts are managed differently. By using the Upwork Work Diary tool, you get insight into the progress of your project. The Work Diary acts as a time tracker by being the method through which your freelancer clocks in and out as they are working on your job. This tool allows you to review and discuss the tasks at hand by taking random screenshots 6 times every hour of the freelancer's computer, to which they can add specific notes. You can see in real time what your freelancer is working on and visibly see the progress of your project. We recommend reviewing the Work Diary every few days or whatever feels right to you. For hourly contracts, a natural time to check the Work Diary is at the end of the week before payments are made. The billing cycle is Monday through Sunday. You may want to review the Work Diary daily because you'll be charged automatically the following Monday. You'll find the time logged against your project under the freelancer's contract page. If there's time you shouldn't be charged for, reach out to your freelancer using the message center and ask for an adjustment. Let's talk about working and collaborating with freelancers after you engage them through a contract. Use our collaboration and communications tools to manage your projects. We talked about the Work Diary, which is part of that time tracking tool, but you also want to take advantage of things like the Message Center, Google Docs, and Dropbox. We have this great tool that we call the Message Center. The Message Center is where you can clearly and directly communicate with your freelancer in real time. With this feature, you can efficiently manage your project workflow. The Message Center is a chat-like function. What that means is you can chat in real time or have the messages waiting for your freelancer when they come in. You should be messaging about the scope of your project. Request status updates and keep everything in one place. Want a face-to-face interview? Use our video chat. Clear communication is made easy when you use the Message Center on Upwork. All that information that gets captured is documented. It's housed securely on the Upwork platform. So if there's any questions, we can go in and take a look. On fixed price projects, the best way to avoid any kind of issues or miscommunications is to take advantage of the payment protection plan using escrow and milestones process. So again, we've hit on this a few times already, but only release that escrow payment after you've received the work and approved it. After the payment is released, you can't rely on the payment protection. For hourly payment protection, it's about using the work diary because it gives you that visibility into the time that's being charged to your project. If there are any concerns or issues with your freelancers, talk to them. Communicate with them. Send them a message in the message center. Say, I noticed that you spent 5 hours on the project last week. I think the time could be spent better doing this. Or, hey, last week you spent a lot of time working on emails. This week, I want to see more time spent on some of the articles that we were talking about. And then we're always here to help. And we do, in those rare instances where you need it, have dispute assistance available. Like if you feel that you shouldn't have had to pay for a project after you release the funds and you can't come to an agreement with the freelancer. Upwork is a meritocracy. Freelancers receive feedback and star ratings based on their performance. If you have a great experience working with someone, leave them great feedback. These ratings are permanent and public on freelancers' profiles. It allows transparency into their work experience and performance on the platform. This is very important, not only for the freelancer's reputation in terms of what gets added to their work history and shows up on their profile, but also for other clients and the marketplace overall. It helps us get smarter, helps us get more information about the experiences that you're having so that we can continue to help improve those experiences wherever possible. A few tips for you here as you're getting started with your projects. As you should with all things, just be vigilant. Check with us if there's anything that just doesn't feel right with your experience. If there are other users asking you for private or sensitive information or account information, that's not right. It's not a part of how these projects are managed, so check in with us. Never pay or leave final feedback early. Final feedback and payments gets left at the end of a project, so wait until then to leave those ratings. You can leave mid-job feedback as things are happening, but leaving those final ratings, you certainly want to wait until the end. Then, keep those projects on Upwork. By finding and working with freelancers on the Upwork platform, you should do that for any freelancers that you engage with for at least 2 years. And that's so that we can help ensure the best experience possible. By paying and staying on the Upwork platform, that's the only way that we can help out should anything go wrong. So make sure you're taking advantage of that by keeping that work and keeping those experiences on this platform. And for those of you who have questions around intellectual property, we see that happen quite a bit. You do have the ability to add your own non-disclosure or invention assignment agreements to your contract. So certainly take advantage of that. It's as simple as attaching an agreement to your contract. Make sure that your freelancer has taken a look at that and that they're agreeing to that before any work begins. Okay, just a few takeaways. Again, you have a lot under your control when creating your work descriptions. Take some time as you're filling out the form. It's important to help set your project up for success, and it's the first area that you have control over. Assess each freelancer using the tools available on the platform. You have access to profiles. You can review proposals. You can set up interviews with the freelancers. These are 3 ways to help you just refine and get closer to the person that you want to hire. We certainly encourage you to take advantage of them. Use the collaboration, payment, and project partnering tools available to you. So that's things like escrow and milestone for the fixed price contracts. The team app and the timesheets, the work diary for those hourly projects. That gives you visibility into the work getting done. It gives you control of your payments and helps you and your freelancer make sure you're on the same page. And then take advantage of things like the message center so that you can have that dialogue with your freelancers. You guys can get on top and get in front of any issues or questions that they have as soon as possible. Here's a list of resources for you. Take a look at our hiring headquarters. You'll find this at the bottom of every page on the Upwork platform. This is a great resource for you with some articles and good information there. I encourage you to come and take a visit of the Upwork community. Take a look at some of the discussions that are happening there. Ask some questions. If there's anything that we can help clarify, just ask. You can start a discussion or join in on an active one. All right. Thank you very much.